Hello everyone, this is Anshuman and this is SJCAM. So let's get started. Alright, this location seems good and let me just stop here for a bit. Alright, so before I begin, I would like to give a big shout out to our sponsor of this video, which is...
Bro, we are not that popular yet to have sponsors.
Okay, alright. So in this video, I will be talking about the things that I like about this motorcycle and the things that I don't like very much about this motorcycle. So this is going to be a sort of a first impression video, and I have done already 600 kilometers. So let's get started. Alright, so the first point is the design. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. You take it to the streets and you will definitely get lots of attention, and you might hate that attention or love that attention depending on the person you are. But yeah, it does look like a big bike machine, and it doesn't at all look like a 3 lakh. I mean, just a 3 lakh machine. So yeah, in design department, it looks absolutely amazing. So the second point will be the ergonomics. Now the ergonomics are not at all as committed as the R15 V3, neither as committed as the RC390, but it is not that upright too. It is sort of like a sports tourer position, which is very comfortable in daily commutes and also on the highways, and that makes this bike easy to ride on a daily basis. Alright, the third point, which is absolutely amazing about this bike, is the seat. Now the seat is so good that I had to dedicate a special point, and the seat's cushion is not very soft, neither too hard, and I usually use the Fago float for my long journeys, and I really don't think that I will be needing the Fago float again. I mean, for highway touring and all. I haven't done any highway touring, but let's see. I really don't think that I will be ever needing that thing to just make the ride more comfortable, because this seat is really that comfortable. Alright, the fourth point is the instrument cluster. It is very simple to explain. The first thing is, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and it is a big instrument cluster. You really need to see it by yourself. I mean, in the internet it does look like a small instrument cluster due to its vertically stacked display, but it is a big one. The second reason, it provides a ton of information. Third reason, a dedicated hazard light switch. There you go. The fifth point is the quality of this machine. I mean, it feels absolutely premium bike. The panel gaps are very minimal. The switchgear quality is really good, and overall the bike feels like a much more costlier bike. I mean, you just see it by yourself and you really won't feel like TVS has compromised somewhere, and maybe this happened because of BMW, who knows. Right, the final and the sixth point is the visor. Now the visor is very tall, and thanks to that thing, the wind blast is really less. I mean, I am 6 foot tall, and the only reason where I feel the wind blast is around my helmet, that too at the speeds of 100 and 120 km per hour. But the wind blast is really minimal as compared to the other bikes I have ridden. So the visor actually does a really brilliant job. Alright, now let's talk about the things that I don't like about this bike very much. The dislikes. Now the very first dislike will be the exhaust note. Now let me show you why. Now the idling sound is really bad. When you look at this bike, you won't really think that this bike sounds that bad, but it does get better when you rev it. Like, there you go. The rev sound is good, but the idling sound is really bad. Now the second dislike is the seat. Now not this seat, but this one. First of all, the seat is really high, but I really can't complain about it because this is a sports bike after all. But the main problem is the shape of this seat. Now the shape is so bad that the pillion's comfort is absolutely worse. The pillion can manage up to 30 to 45 minutes of ride, but after that he or she would just like to get off that seat and just walk away. It is that bad. Now the third dislike is the instrument cluster. first it is really hard to press the switches, and if you are wearing gloves then you really need that earth shattering force to press those switches. There you go. Now the second thing, I really need to remove my gloves. Alright, the second thing is the navigation. Now suppose I want to check the engine temperature, so click, 1,000 clicks, and I missed it. So now I really need to go around the globe, press it 1,000,000 times to go back to the setting that I want. There you go. And the third thing is the location of this hazard light switch. They could have placed it somewhere on the switch gears. That could have been really convenient, but while riding, pressing this switch is a really tough task. Now the fourth dislike, it is not a dislike, rather a nitpicking, is the visor. Now the visor, I know the visors do get scratched easily, but this one is really easy to scratch. You just rub it like this while wearing gloves and it will get scratched. That's how easy it is. Right, that's it guys. I did leave about the engine and the vibrations because I would like to drive it for some more kilometers, and I would like to do the first servicing before I give my verdict. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button and do subscribe. Goodbye.
चल